Today, Austin, Travis, and I are here to talk to you guys about our board game research and development group project. After collaborating and looking at all of our individual research, we came to a broad but simple conclusion. All of our research incorporates at some point in time stairs and elevators. That being said, our board game targets whether people take the stairs or elevators when given the chance to choose. To narrow our research and audience, we decided to propose a question. Why do people take the stairs or elevators rather than the other? Now, throughout our speech today, we will talk to you guys about the goal and atmosphere of our board game, how our survey results help us form the board game, and we will show you a demo of our board game and how it works. And finally, we will talk to you guys about how our sources can help you learn more about our board game. When deciding how we wanted to go about making our game, we wanted to make sure our goal was made clear. The goal of our game is simply to make it from start to finish while avoiding as many problems as possible. But the atmosphere of our game is what makes our goal more rewarding. When studying how to make a board game, we learned we should have a real-life feel to the problems of the game. In our board game, the playing cards present personal and real-life situations that one would face during any given day. Adding that aspect to our game is what makes the goal and atmosphere more fun and competitive. Now, let's move into talking about our class survey results. Next, we want to talk about the survey we sent out to the class and how the results helped us direct our board game. When asking questions, we wanted to include everyone's individual research. So, after choosing the right sources, we came up with questions relating to choosing to take the stairs or elevator and why, how your phone affects socializing on the elevator, how lack of sleep and energy affects students' health and performance, and finally including how social media affects your personal image. We want to hit more on the results, but first let's walk through the 8 questions we asked. Those are: when on Ball State's campus, do you tend to use the elevator or stairs more? Do you use one more than the other? When you use the elevator, do you find it awkward if people you don't know are riding with you? If so, why? How much time do you spend on technology each day? Are you tired and drowsy during the day because you were up late using your social media and your phone? If so, why? How often do you use your phone when talking or hanging out with other people? Do you ever find yourself on social media jealous and envious of other people's social appearance? And finally, asking the question of how often do you ride the elevator or take the stairs because other people are? Do you feel pressure to do so? The most useful questions for us were: do you tend to use the elevator or stairs more? And then following that up with, why do you use one more than the other? This was beneficial to us because it showed us how our audience feels about choosing which to take. For example, the feelings behind taking one or the other are: it is easier and it can save my strength if I take the elevator. I live on the 9th floor, so of course I'm going to take the elevator. It is healthier for me to take the stairs, and some results related to the stairs are quicker. The rest of our results shows us how people interact and use social media. For example, the question, how often do you use your phone when talking or hanging out with other people, showed us that people try to stay off their phones unless a situation becomes boring or awkward. Altogether, our results helped us shape our game cards and how we want to present our research. This is so because our results gave us an idea of how our audience feels and what they already know about our research. Now that you have learned about our research and what the results did for us, let's move into how the game works.
When starting the game, roll a die to see who goes first and go in order of biggest to smallest numbers rolled with a max of 4 players. First player rolls the die, and that number is the amount of spaces you will move. Next, pull a card from the pile and perform what it says, then place in discard pile. Repeat these steps until a player makes it to the finish. You may finish there or continue to find the other finishing places. An important rule to remember is that you will continue to go up or down elevators and stairs from moving spaces forward or backwards from a card. Also, remember that when you land on stairs or an elevator that you go up or down before drawing a card, then proceed to draw a card. One more important rule is that when reading a card, the term nearest can be the space you are on or the closest in spaces forward or backwards. In this example, the player goes down the stairs, draw a card, and is told to go up the nearest staircase. That being said, he went up the stairs that he just went down. Another cool aspect of our game is when you draw a card and it has a source number on it, you can access more information behind the making of our game. Once the game has ended, turn the board over to see this information.
Now that you know a little bit more about our game, let's talk about the sources we used.
My research was concerned with the analysis of the different ways people view their use of elevators and stairs. It was also about the different factors that influence people's decisions, be it health, architectural design, messaging, time management, or environmentalism. Sources I incorporated into the game take a look at specific variables that affect decision making, and one source describes how physical activities such as stair climbing has a positive impact on a person's health. My next source makes the case that positive reinforcement posters make the stairs a more attractive option, while negative statements do the opposite. My third source I contributed was discussed how the design of a building's transport system affects people's decision-making process. When incorporated into the game, my sources show that stairs are a more rewarding and healthier option than the elevator.
My research was similar to Austin's, but mine had a slightly different view and take on things. My research was also about what influences students to use the stairs and or the elevator. I focused on different influences and factors that affect elevator or stair use, such as elevator awkwardness, elevator quickness, and health benefits, and lastly, why students are always late to class.
Next, let's move into the three sources I chose. All three of my sources closely relate to social interactions and elevators. One of my sources talks about the etiquette of elevator use and how people should act a certain way to avoid awkward situations. Another one of my sources talks about how elevator awkwardness can't end soon enough. It mentions ways to avoid awkward situations just like my other article. My last article talks about who stands where on an elevator and why. This outlines the awkwardness of elevators because of the small space and feeling uncomfortable around others. Altogether, my sources are presented in our board game by showing the audience awkward situations when getting in elevators.
Now that we have talked about our goals and atmosphere, discussed our class survey results, showcased our board game, and shared our research, we hope that you are more aware that the choice you make between the elevator or stairs has more impact than you may initially think. We hope that you have fun and enjoyed playing our board game, Stairs and Elevators.